This is pretty freaking crazy. I officially felt the baby kick. Because if I just kept going, I was gonna actually vomit. To let me know they want to do another ultrasound. You're gonna be here for several hours. It's hard to be a couch potato when you have a toddler, honestly. So I finally whipped out the pregnancy pillow. Something tells me they don't just want to take a look at the baby. Am I dreaming that I'm choking or am I actually choking? It's still a reminder that she's in there and I love it. I'm 14 weeks and 5 days right now, and so far I feel like my energy is feeling a lot better. I have been trying to go to sleep a little bit earlier, so I feel like that's been helping me out. But even when I don't get exactly 8 hours, I don't feel as tired as I did. One thing that's been happening throughout the night, not every night, but I've noticed that if I lay on my back, it starts to feel like I'm choking. And it's so weird because I'm like half asleep. So I'm like, am I dreaming that I'm choking or am I actually choking? I remember last time I was pregnant, every time it would be time to go to bed, I would get a whole bunch of mucus and it was like I couldn't breathe. I don't know if that's what's going on, but I did notice that the second I flopped over, like moved over instead of laying on my back, which I know you're not supposed to do when you're pregnant, but I don't mean to. I literally go to sleep on my side and somehow I wake up and I'm on my back. I don't know. I feel like my stomach is getting so big now. I'm only 14 weeks, but it looks crazy to me. You want to see it? I can't wait to start feeling the baby move. I feel like I haven't really felt much of anything recently. I've switched over to wearing maternity leggings. I just kind of rolled them down so it's not like as annoying because I feel like they're still a bit loose. But honestly, it's just so much more comfortable than wearing regular leggings. I have some airy ones that I still use because they're really, really stretchy. The Fabletics ones are all a little bit tight, like where the waistband is, and it's just not comfortable. And then I feel like my stomach literally gets a dent in it. So I've just switched over. I'm just giving in. It is what it is. I don't know what to wear anymore. I don't look pregnant in certain clothes. Like for example, this, like it's super baggy, so you can't tell I'm pregnant. But when I'm wearing anything tight, I'm like, you can definitely see my belly. We'll see if anyone starts to notice. And by anyone, I mean like, you know, people at the gym and stuff. I actually completely forgot to mention this to you guys. I've probably been using the pregnancy pillow for about 3 or 4 days now, and honestly, I'm so glad I did. I was trying to put it off because I know it takes up a lot of space in the bed, and Barry doesn't really like it that much because it feels like we're like further apart, but I'm tossing and turning way too much in my sleep. I couldn't get comfortable for the life of me. So I finally whipped out the pregnancy pillow, and genuinely, I feel like I've been having such deep sleep. It's amazing. That pillow, the second I got in it, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is real nice. You feel supported from behind and from the front. I'm gonna link it below if you guys want it. It's honestly a lifesaver. I don't know how people don't like sleep with a pregnancy pillow when they're pregnant. Like that's crazy to me. Tell me how this whole time I thought I was filming and I didn't press record. I don't know how I managed to do that. I spoke so much I got out of breath, and then I went to go press like end, and then I was like, wait a second, it's just now started recording. I guess I'm not okay. Once the second trimester hit, probably like 2 weeks into the second trimester, I've been feeling so much better when it comes to my energy. I've noticed a huge difference when I go to the gym and when I don't go to the gym. When I don't go to the gym, I genuinely feel very achy. My back hurts. I feel very sore. But if I go to the gym, I feel like I'm just a little bit stronger. I feel like I'm not like achy. Like when I get on the ground and I get back up, I'm all right. I'm not like, ouch, my back. So I've been trying to like do it at least 3 times a week or get some type of exercise at least 3 times a week. I will say I probably average like 7,000 steps a day. So I'm trying to get like 10 or 8 or I don't know, like something that's not too bad. You know, I don't want to be like couch potato. And it's hard to be a couch potato when you have a toddler, honestly. She's just all over the place all the time. But it is a little bit easier when I get out the house and actually like go places, you know? One thing that definitely has increased is my appetite. I was doing great the first trimester. I like literally didn't gain weight. And now that the second trimester is in, I'm literally up 10 pounds. And I know technically there's more blood in my body. You know, there's a placenta, there's a baby. More stuff is going on, but I was really going to try my best to not gain weight or not gain that much weight. And I feel like 10 pounds, that's a good little chunk. Because when I say 10 pounds from the beginning of my pregnancy, that sounds great. But considering I gained the 10 pounds pretty much starting the second trimester to now, and I'm like almost 19 weeks, that was 10 pounds pretty quick, you know? So I just gotta stay on top of it. We'll see how I keep doing at that. I don't know. Wish me the best. Oh, and I've also been potty training Amelia while this is all happening. Honestly, it's been going great. I'm so happy. One thing that's been happening is I do really feel like I don't have to call it my pelvis, my lower area is really getting really hard versus I feel like that would normally be that hard. I mean, it makes sense. I'm almost halfway through the pregnancy. It just doesn't feel like I'm halfway through the pregnancy. It feels like I'm still in the early beginnings, but we definitely still have a long way to go. And this is going to be the hard part once it starts getting bigger. Okay, so pregnancy symptoms are starting to kick in. If you watched the first trimester vlog, you'll remember me mentioning how usually at the end of my pregnancy, I get really bad sciatica pain. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'll put it here, just the correct wording of it. The other day, I was sitting on my PC for maybe a few hours. I don't know how long. It could have been like 2 hours. I don't know. I just know I sat on my computer for a prolonged period of time, which I've done before recently and not had any issues. The other day, when I got up, I felt like I was an elderly person that was just struggling to walk. Like it hurt. Every step I took hurt. Not super bad, but definitely painful and uncomfortable and not fun. And now, last night, I could not sleep. Obviously I slept, but I literally was tossing and turning and tossing and turning. And I ate some food late, but I'm used to eating food late. I like going to bed with a full tummy. I know you're not supposed to, but I like doing it. And I've never had any issues with it. Last night, it felt like that food was going to come out of my body. Like it felt like it was just burning here. Like it was like right there. Like the food was right freaking there, which is heartburn. Because today, I actually didn't really eat much and I had one empanada. And then when I had the one empanada, I immediately felt like that pain that's right here where it feels like the empanada is just gonna come right up. So I've officially entered the heartburn stage of pregnancy and I'm not excited because I'm 20 weeks now. So I've got another 20 weeks left. And if the heartburn is there the entire time, this is not gonna be a pleasant experience. It'll probably help me not eat as much because I'll be like, if I do, I will pay for it. I will definitely pay for it. This morning when I was brushing my teeth, I actually vomited a little bit in my mouth. Yeah, I know you probably didn't want to hear that, but it's true. I did. Just because it was burning so much. The second I put my toothbrush back there, it was bad. It was disgusting. It was absolutely awful. I had to stop brushing my teeth because if I just kept going, I was gonna actually vomit. So I'm not excited about that. My belly definitely feels like a proper belly in the morning when I've not ate anything, which is kind of crazy. Tomorrow though is the anatomy scan, and that's when we will actually be able to see the baby and hopefully see the baby move. That way I can be like, oh look, I can feel that. I don't know. I'm excited. I can't breathe. It does not feel like I'm halfway through the pregnancy. It's kind of crazy. It does not feel that way whatsoever. I feel pretty normal except everything else, that I mentioned, which is not that good. Kind of hard to tell because of the makeup, but my cheeks have genuinely been getting really red. Harry says it's not a bunch of acne, but it's literally a bunch of dots, of red dots all over my face. So it may not be like in your face acne, but it's definitely not pleasant. So much so where I'm like, I should probably wear makeup every day because every time I don't wear makeup, it just feels grubby, like I feel like my face is just all blemished up. It's not the end of the world and then it'll go away, but I literally was like, did I always look like this? I don't remember being this self-cautious without makeup. So I'm like, it kind of makes sense because even Harry was like, no, it's definitely the whole the pregnancy because you don't normally look like that. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm just take my word for it. Right now I am 20 weeks and 3 days and this is what the bump looks like. And that is not with me pushing it out or anything. That is just what it looks like on a regular. Okay, so far, symptoms-wise, honestly, I feel great. I can't complain. I only pee once during the night still, so that has not increased, thankfully. There's been some nights where I pee twice, but that's very rare. Heartburn has not really kept going on. It was kind of just that day and then the day after that, but so far it hasn't really happened again. But I know it will happen because I remember last time it happened, like towards the end of the pregnancy. Once the baby starts getting bigger and all that. I completely forgot to vlog this. Oh my gosh. I had my 20-week appointment on Monday, like 2 days ago, and basically everything seemed good. They did the anatomy scan. They didn't really say anything. I saw the heartbeat was moving and the baby was moving. As far as I know, that seems good. All my vitals are good. They called me today to let me know they want to do another ultrasound to get a better look of the baby. They didn't say if anything was wrong. They just said they want to get a better look of the baby. That actually happened when I was pregnant with Amelia too, because apparently I think they said one of her kidneys looked like, I think it was too small or something like that. It's hard to remember. They said that it's very common and they were like, we'll take a look like later at the end of the pregnancy and we'll see. And by the end of the pregnancy, everything was good. So maybe it'll be the same thing. I'm not sure. Maybe they actually genuinely just want to get a better look at the baby. That would be great news. But I have a feeling they saw something and now they want to take a better look at it. I don't know. Honestly, I have faith that Jesus will carry me through this. So I am not concerned. I am obviously concerned, but at the same time, I'm not concerned. And I have that peace of mind because I know that whatever happens, God willed it and it is meant to be. I think that we will have a lovely baby and that everything will be great. It's obviously what I hope for. And we officially, as of yesterday, decided on a name. I will not tell you guys until the baby is born because obviously, you never know, but pretty set on the name. I think it's really pretty. It's really a lovely name. We're just excited to have 2 little girls, We're really excited. All the doctors keep asking me if I feel a baby, and I feel like that's a bad sign if I say no. But the truth is, I don't know because there's times where I feel like I think I feel the baby, but it's so faint, I can't tell if I'm I'm imagining it in my head or if it's actually happening. I don't know if that's crazy or if that's just me being like super anal. I don't know. Please comment down below if you agree with me. I'm 20 weeks already and people are like, do you feel the baby? Do you feel the baby? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that's the baby, but I can't wait till I can actually thoroughly feel the baby. I'm 20 weeks and 6 days, so almost 21 weeks, and last night I officially felt the baby kick. There's been a lot of times where I feel like I'm feeling the baby, but it's so faint that I genuinely can't tell. But last night we were laying in bed and I very vividly felt like a kick. It felt very much like when Amelia used to kick, except it was obviously not as hard, not as like, you don't see my belly move or anything like that, but it was very much like a tap of like a kick. And then a couple of like seconds after I felt another one and I was like, oh, that was for sure the baby. So it was really sweet. Now on to a more serious topic. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I got my anatomy scan like 5 days ago. They called me up like, I don't know, like a day or two after, and they were like, we need to get another ultrasound scheduled for you because we need to take a closer look of the baby. But then what made it really weird this time is when I got a call to reschedule the ultrasound, it was from the hospital. And I was like, okay, what? Like usually last time I got the ultrasound at my OBG, there was no hospital involved. I'm like, this seems more intense or whatever. And literally the lady talking to me from the hospital, from maternal fetal medicine, she was like, oh yeah, come really early because you're gonna be here for several hours. And I asked her, I was like, is it something they saw or something like that? And she just said, oh, what you got done was a normal anatomy scan, but what you're gonna get done here is a way more detailed anatomy scan. But she still didn't really tell me why. I mean, obviously I scheduled it, but then once I left the call, I was like, this is weird. Like, unless something has changed in their procedure, this is weird because like, why wouldn't they just check me at my OBGYN? Why do they have to send me to the hospital? But then luckily my sister-in-law, she actually does ultrasounds at a hospital where she lives up in, is it North Florida? I don't know what to call it. I believe it's North Florida. And I was like, you know, this is what happened. Like, what do you think? And she was like, normally they don't send you to the hospital. That is definitely a bit bizarre. She was like, I don't know if their procedures are different. And she was like, have you viewed your test results? And I was like, yeah, I viewed them. I just don't really understand how to read them, what they say. Like, it's just a bunch of weird terms and numbers. Like, I don't have no idea what I'm looking at. So I sent it to her and she was going through it. And I was like, did you see something? And she's like, yeah. And then she just kind of went quiet. And I was like, okay, so it can't be good because she's quiet. She didn't just immediately tell me what she saw. Turns out our little baby has a hole in her heart, which sounds very catastrophic and terrifying and horrible. But honestly, luckily, I actually had a friend that went through this with their baby girl. And when she was born, she was healthy and she was fine. So I knew that at least I had faith that it was not like a catastrophic thing. And we've done research on it now and we feel like very confident that it'll be okay. So I looked it up just to give you like the correct information. So it's called a ventricular septal defect, VSD, and it says they naturally seal within 6 months to 2 years of life. It says some continue to close on their own up to age 6 or older, with studies showing 75% closure rates by the age of 10 and a half. So it does close on its own for, I would say, the majority of people, but there is some people where it doesn't close and they have to have surgery. But it's fixable. It's not like they're gonna die, you know? Well, at least hopefully, you know. Obviously, like, we hope for the best. I don't feel super worried, but it does sound terrifying when someone tells you your baby has a hole in their heart, because it definitely can cause a lot of issues. The good thing is that it is a solvable problem. I'm honestly just putting it in the hands of God and trusting Him to heal her heart. I think that we will be fine. I'm hoping for the best. Obviously, it's stressful, and yesterday is when it happened, and I kind of had like a little freak out, but you know, I've kind of settled in it, and I'm not scared, honestly. Like, I just genuinely trust that God will make sure everything is okay. I genuinely do. Like, I really do. That's pretty much it. I've been feeling pretty good. We're halfway there. I can't believe it. It's literally like 4 months until the baby is born. Oh, another thing. I completely forgot to mention this. At my actual doctor's appointment, I basically told her that I want to have a VBAC. I asked her because obviously I've done my research, but it's good to start the conversation there. So I was like, so what do you think about VBAC? And if I want more kids, is that a better alternative? And she was like, well, yeah, definitely. Because with C-sections, obviously you have complications after you have like 3 or more. She was like, we don't really recommend that. And she basically gave me the go ahead. She was like, sure, we'll try for a VBAC. Like, that's fine. We spoke about what had happened with my previous pregnancy, and she was like, yeah, like you can have a VBAC. She said, we'll schedule a C-section for after my 40 weeks in hopes that I naturally deliver. I don't know if this heart situation is gonna change anything. I don't know if that requires a C-section. I don't think it would, but honestly, I guess we'll find out more after that appointment. We'll though take a closer look at the baby and see how big the size of the hole is, confirm that it actually is there in the first place, because sometimes the pictures are blurry and stuff like that. That would be honestly great if like it just wasn't even there and they just didn't have the proper picture, or maybe something was in the way. But you know, the fact that they sent me there makes me think that they actually did for certain say something, like to the hospital. And shout out to my sister-in-law, because honestly, thank God I have her, because if I didn't have her, I think I would just be going around in circles being like, something's not right, something's not right, something's not right. Because the whole hospital thing really triggered me. I was like, this doesn't feel normal. Everyone keeps telling me they just want to take a look at the baby. Something tells me they don't just want to take a look at the baby. So honestly, thank God for her, because she really helped me. Believe it or not, telling me that my baby had a hole in its heart calmed me down over me not having any idea what's wrong with the baby. I could literally be like, maybe it's missing limbs. I don't know. I literally do not know, you know? So that really makes you feel a lot better, honestly. So thank God for her. Shout out to you. I will not say her name because I'm not trying to incriminate anyone in any of this. I don't know if this would even count, but right now, I'm 21 weeks and 3 days. It says the baby is the size of a banana. And honestly, I can tell, because recently, ever since I told you guys I felt the baby kick, I've actually been feeling the baby kick every single day since then. And it's so lovely. It makes me happy. Makes me happy knowing that she's growing in there, even though she's supposedly got a hole in her heart. At least she's, you know, moving about, hopefully having a good time, doing acrobatics in there. I don't know. She's got a lot of space for the time being because she's tiny. The bigger she gets, those movements are going to start showing on the outside. So I'm excited for that. I'll definitely vlog that when it happens because I love capturing it. It's amazing. But so far, I don't know if you can feel it on the outside. I just know I feel it on the inside. I will show you guys the bump. I feel like the bump is past my boobs at this point, because when I'm wearing a shirt, I feel like I can see my bump when I look down past my boobs. So it's big. It's definitely a big bump for 21 weeks. But what can I say? I can't complain. I'll show you guys. It's not super past my boobs. Belly is in action. Belly is in action. Okay, so right now I'm 25 weeks, and honestly, it hasn't been very eventful, which is why I haven't vlogged that much, except for the fact that I've been feeling the baby move every single day, pretty much all the time. It doesn't even have to be just nighttime. It's like morning, like when I wake up, immediately feeling the baby kick, throughout the day, feeling the baby kick, like just crazy, like just all the time. And it's not like subtle flutters. It is like full on kicking, punching. I don't know who she's fighting in there. I really don't know. It's pretty intense, but it is obviously a pleasant feeling. And I've noticed that lately I can actually see it from the outside. I try to record it, but it's like every time I record, it's like she knows and she stops moving. Right now I don't feel heartburn, but yesterday I felt heartburn the whole day. So I don't know if that's coming back. We'll see. We'll see. Bump is getting pretty big. Pretty big. Do you want to see it? I'll show you. The baby is in there all right. It's a very active baby. Very active. I have been starting to feel a little bit of sciatica pain. Nothing too crazy, but I definitely have been feeling it. Oh, and the other night, I didn't record it because I thought it would be like a common thing, but I figured out a solution to it. I was wearing high Nike socks, and I noticed that when I took them off, I had a really big dent where the socks were, like a really, really big dent. So I was like, oh my gosh, my feet are starting to swell up again. Well, I looked it up, and it was basically saying, don't wear socks that have a tight band, and those definitely have a tight band. Like even when I'm not pregnant, they feel tight. So I just like the way they feel though. I like it. I don't know why, but clearly I can't wear them while pregnant because they dent my leg up, which means that the circulation isn't working correctly. So I took them off, and so far my feet aren't swollen. I've been good. I've been fine, because I'm trying to avoid swollen legs and swollen feet as much as I can this time around, because that was the most unpleasant part last time. It looked concerning. So no socks for me unless they're compression socks. So I've just been wearing sandals or slides. I'm officially 26 weeks today, which is literally crazy because that means we'll have a baby in like 3 or 4 months. That's insane. And today was the first Charlie horse of the pregnancy. It was freaking horrible, and I could not remember how I'm supposed to bend my leg. I believe you're supposed to bend your foot upwards towards the sky, and in the moment I genuinely could not remember because it's been so long. I was just freaking out, and I did my best to try to get up out of bed and stand up, and even then it freaking hurt. It still hurts right now. That's how bad it hurt. It hurt so freaking bad. It's literally 5 p.m. and I still feel the pain from this morning. Oof, that was rough. Heartburn. Heartburn has not been a everyday, all day type thing, but it's been a every once in a while type thing. So it's definitely gonna start popping up a little bit more often, I think. But it's nothing I can't handle. It's not been too bad. I will say it's put me off spicy foods, which is crazy because last time I still ate spicy foods with the heartburn and didn't feel like it made a difference. But this time I feel like it's really put me off spicy foods because it feels like my throat is already on fire. I do think I have been feeling some round ligament pain because I've been feeling pain when I walk sometimes for a little bit too long, right where my belly area is, and well, it's probably because I've got a big belly now. What can I say? Can't complain about that, right? That means baby's growing. You want to see something crazy? This is pretty freaking crazy. My belly is so big, and this is just what I look like all the time now. I've been feeling the baby move all the time, pretty pleasant, but I will say there's been times where it feels like she is kicking me in my bladder, and it is real uncomfortable. But, you know, it's still a reminder that she's in there, and I love it. I can't complain about that. I just remembered one thing I have just completely not talked about, and it's been honestly happening for like probably 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, I can't remember. This might be TMI, by the way, just in case you want to skip forward. I feel like I am smelly. I just feel like a really smelly person all the time. It feels like I have to shower like twice a day because I just smell really easily, really fast, and it is not a fun experience. It's not pleasant. I hate it. I don't remember it being this bad with Amelia, but Harry said that he does remember it was the same with Amelia, so my memory is failing me, clearly. Maybe I blocked it out because I didn't want to remember that. Just thought you should know. Pregnancy makes some people smelly. Lovely. So I finally had my appointment with maternal fetal medicine, and I got the best news. They said that the baby has no heart defect, at least that they can see, and that everything looks perfectly fine. The ultrasound tech actually told me she had taken a look at the original ultrasounds that they sent from the OBGYN, and she said that she wasn't convinced that there was a heart defect. So she was like, let's check it out, like let's take a look just in case. And she took a look, everything looked fine. She consulted with the doctor said everything looked fine. So no heart defect, thank God, honestly, that is amazing. What a blessing, because I was so nervous. Even the doctor, when he sat down with me, he told me that the original ultrasound photos they had sent over looked like it could have just been, I think he said fluids. I'm not sure if that's the word he used, but he was basically saying it could have just been like a blur. Like it didn't look clear as to what was happening. But at the actual maternal fetal medicine, their machines are intense. Like they got 3D pictures of the baby, which is pretty cool. It's cute and creepy, I'm not gonna lie. It was so funny because she showed me a picture, like a 3D picture of her face, but it was like kind of blurry. And I don't know if it's the way the photo works or whatever, I don't know. But she was like, oh, so cute. And I was like, yeah. But in my head, I'm like, she looks like an alien. Obviously, like, I love her, like, you know, but I'm just like, what? That looks crazy. The whole 3D picture thing looks wild. I didn't get 3D pictures with Amelia, so I didn't know what it would look like, but they look weird. They look so weird. They're cute though. She even took a 3D picture of her foot, which is super adorable. The whole thing is just weird. However, the actual regular ultrasound photos, those are really cute. 3D ones just creep me out. They're like a straight up alien in there, but it's really cute. Praise Jesus, she's got no heart defect, and we are just super happy and super blessed. And honestly, now I feel so relieved because that was probably my biggest concern. She's still kicking all the time. I swear, she's got a power in that punch or those kicks. I don't know what they are, but she's got some power in them. That was pretty much it. I honestly can't believe how fast time has just flown by, but I guess that's life with a toddler. I'll be starting the 3rd trimester vlog soon, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys have a lovely and beautiful day. God bless. Bye.